I'm Stefan Stein, and my guest today is Sandra Tobler, co-founder of Futurae. Welcome, Sandra. Please tell us who you are.
Hi, very great to be here. Hi, Stefan. My name is Sandra. I'm co-founder and chairwoman of Futurae. We're a Zurich-based cybersecurity company in the area of strong authentication, fraud prevention in the digital sphere. And we have been around for 9 years now. And yeah, have grown across the globe. So we're really excited to be back in touch.
Thank you much for joining us. You mentioned Futurae started almost 10 years ago. What memories come back when you reply this moment in your mind at the very beginning of your startup?
I mean, when you start, it can go in all directions. You don't really know what's going to materialize, if this very first POC that you're doing is going to be successful. So things are very much in the air. And yeah, it's also great to see what happened since we started and how lucky we were to get to where we are now.
How did you came up with the idea for authentication and security?
I mean, it was a time where regulation was heavily pushing into our direction, specifically in the payment and banking area. But my two co-founders did a PhD at ETH, and they were already working on some sort of idea when we met in the US the first time. And then, like, we said, look, this is a really, really interesting topic. This is a really interesting time to start. We give each other half a year to see if there is interest from the market, from potential investors. And if we meet certain milestones, then we're going to go and do it. And that's what happened. And we were lucky enough to win a very cool first customer. That's how we then really kicked it off and started.
You mentioned the US. Sam traveled with the venture leaders FinTech in 2017 to New York, and you traveled with the venture leaders Mobile in 2023. How did Futura benefit from those roadshows?
I honestly love these roadshows because it's a very cool community, first and foremost. It's always nice to have some corporate people part of the roadshow, some other startups in different maturities. So it's kind of a really cool community every time. But then, of course, to get the exposure to the new market, to meet investors, to build relationships first, like have this high immersive week is super helpful to then build and stay in touch for a longer time and even consider to build stronger ties over time or an entity. So for us, it has been invaluable, both New York and Barcelona in that regard.
Wait, what was the exact moment when you knew you had to go global or international?
I mean, look, we are a software company. So we have, from the outset of our company, defined we are global. We have to work in a global market. All our competitors are large international players. Software growth is very aggressive. So for us, it was very clear we have an international exposure. And I think some of our first customers have been international customers. So we have always been language in our company is English. We have a team of, I think, over 20 nationalities these days. So we have always been international.
So how did expanding internationally challenge the way you think about pricing and your products coming from Switzerland?
I mean, it's always a challenge, like psychologically, I would say so. But in the area of strong authentication or in the area of security, there is, again, this regulatory push. There is market adoption. We are very deeply embedded into infrastructure on a global level. And from that point of view, we are smartly packaged with other products. And it's not always clear that there's actually a Swiss component part of this larger package. I think, yeah, this partner strategy has proven very, very successful. And it's just payment providers, international organizations, they want the best of breed and they just purchase something that is well packaged. And that was our success. So it was not so much that we pushed the Swiss agenda or talked about the Swissness when we did our go-to-market, but it was really more the smart embedding into other products.
You're long-term in the startup ecosystem and have also been abroad before your startup. What did you discover abroad that simply doesn't exist in Switzerland and should be invented here?
I mean, so many things. When you are abroad, you have a lot more ideas what you could do in Switzerland. I'm honest, I don't think I would have founded a company if I didn't live sometimes in the US. Like, just the idea to build something that doesn't exist yet was something like that didn't occur to me before. And I mean, for me, it's not so much like a business idea I would want to see growing in Switzerland. In addition, it's more like this mindset to help each other become bigger and to enjoy each other's successes is something that I love to see a bit more maybe sometimes. I mean, I'm really happy to see how the startup ecosystem has grown over the years. But in the US, it's so common when you start with something, everyone is excited, everyone gives you introductions, everyone brings new ideas to build upon the idea. And here, I mean, there are some people that are like that, but I would say it's rare. People first tell you what's not going to work out, why it's going to be a disaster, why it's a really bad idea. And just this energy level, I would love to see maybe here.
So you mentioned the networking style in the US that everyone does introductions. So we should be more open and help each other.
I honestly think in the beginning, it's a tough job to be a founder. You have a lot of resistance, you have a lot of pressure. And to just have an environment that is uplifting can help a lot mentally. And I would love to see more of that. And there's already, like, I think a big community of founders these days, which is awesome. So you will find like-minded people that have done things. But I would love to see this even more grow. So you guys do an important job in that regard.
That's a good mindset, and also for the next generation. What was your hardest part from scaling international?
Honestly, since we had from the very beginning this international strategy, it was not like this one incident or this one area that was the toughest. I think there is always unpredicted things that come into play. There was a pandemic. So while we were used to sell very much in person, to build relationships in person, to meet key partners in person, we had to kind of become maybe a bit more like try to do the same quality interaction on a virtual level. It was just like we constantly had to reinvent ourselves with new circumstances. Now we have customers and partners in the Middle East. The situation is also changing these days. So I think you constantly need to find new ways how to do the same that you do maybe in another way or better even with the circumstances that arise. But I wouldn't say like there was this one single incident.
Soon you will celebrate 10 years of Futurae. What's next for you?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're in the growth phase. So for us, it's always we wanna grow internationally further. We have customers from Latin America, Southeast Asia to Middle East, and of course across Europe. So to expand on those initial market setups, it's very important to us. We're also raising another funding round this year. We're looking for investors that help us also on this geographic reach out to build further strength. And it's a really exciting journey in that regard. So we're happy to see what's coming.
Excellent. Crossing my fingers for your fundraising round. So
Thank
my
you.
last question, if you were to meet your younger self today, what advice would you give yourself?
I listen to your instinct, be bold and brave and just keep doing what you think is the best.
Excellent. Sandra, thank you very much for your time and for sharing your insight. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, Stefan. Good seeing you.